Hi, good morning, my dear students. In this short video, you are going to learn the concept of in spite of and despite. They are called prepositional expressions. Words like although, even though, in spite of, and despite are all used to link two contrasting ideas. They are used to join two opposite thoughts or ideas. They can all be used at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. As you can see in these two examples, once it is used at the start of the sentence, and in the second example, the word despite is used in the second half of the sentence. Despite the rain, we enjoyed the festival. We enjoyed the festival despite the rain. Here the word despite has joined two opposite ideas. What's contrast or opposite here? Suppose if there is rain, you cannot enjoy something, you cannot go out. But here in this sentence they are mentioning the contrast. There was a rain and they enjoyed the festival. There is a contrast in this sentence. However, there are some rules that we have to follow when we use in spite of and despite. There is no difference between using in spite of and despite. There is only one difference, that is use of. After in spite of and despite, we use a noun or gerund, ing form of a verb, or we use a pronoun. They never made much money in spite of their success. Here in first example, there is a pronoun and success is a noun. From the explanation, it is clear that after in spite of and despite, we use ing form of the verb or a noun. If you look at this example, despite having a headache. Here the word having is a verb with ing, but it's acting as a noun here. So from here it is clear that we can use only a noun or ing form of a verb after despite or in spite of. In the previous slide, I mentioned that after in spite of and despite, we use a noun or ing form of the verb. But there is an exception. If you use the expression the fact that after in spite of or after despite, if you use the expression the fact that, after this you can use subject and verb also. For example, in spite of the fact that he worked very hard, he didn't pass the exam. Despite the fact that he worked very hard, he didn't pass the exam. Now again we will have a quick review of in spite of and despite. They are called prepositional expressions and they are used to join two contrasting ideas, two opposite ideas in sentence. Both have the similar meaning. The only difference between them is the use of. To show a contrast in a sentence, we can use it at the start of the sentence, or we can use it in the center of the sentence also. It can be the first clause in a sentence or it can be the second clause of the sentence. Another important thing to keep in mind, that after in spite of and despite, we use a noun or ing form of the verb or a pronoun. But if you use the expression the fact that after in spite of or despite, you can use subject and verb also after it. Like in spite of the fact that he worked very hard, he didn't pass the exam. Here, he is the subject and worked is a verb. We have used it after in spite of because we have used the expression the fact here. I hope you understood the lesson.